Mike Wilson scores for Buena Vista on a 4-yard run.
I'm Jim DeMars, played football with Mike Wilson for 4 years, played basketball with him for a year, and we also lived together for 4 years at Buena Vista, which was quite interesting.
I had the pleasure of coaching Mike Wilson a few years while he was a student here at BV. He was involved in football as well. It wasn't until later on in his collegiate career that he decided to give track a try, but we're certainly glad that he did.
It was really very simple. We were in our conference room at Emmitsburg High School, and in sat Jim Hirschberger. And it just felt like it was the right place. I went from being black and gold to blue and gold, and that was great. I didn't want to be red, I didn't want to be orange.
But I remember Wills because he was tall, he was 6'5", skinny guy from Emmitsburg, and he's a quarterback. And I'm thinking, great, quarterback from Emmitsburg, we're never going to throw the ball.
The first time that I had to play, I was there as the punter. Dave Widener, a kid, was from Pocahontas, was the quarterback. He was on a scramble, got tackled out of bounds. He was concussed. The next day I came in, Kevin Lux, he goes to throw a pass, throws a pass, and hits his thumb on a helmet and breaks his thumb. Here comes the punter. That's what I'm jogging out there thinking, now here comes the punter, this is gonna be great. And I'll never forget this because my good friend Rick Brennan stood up in front of everybody in the huddle and says, "Don't worry, Wilson's got this." We had 2 drives in a row where we went down and scored.
But you could tell something was different with Wills. He had a little swagger to him, if you want to call it, to where when we were in the huddle, he commanded leadership there.
I think we were playing co-college at home. They had punted one and pinned us down inside the 6-yard line somewhere in there.
And Wills was like, he saw something.
And I ran over to the sidelines and I said, if we run an I-Army 58Q zip, they're gonna bite for it. And I think I can hit this.
He said, hey, I'm gonna audible this one. We're gonna fake the pitch to Bailey, and we're gonna have you run a slant between the linebackers and free safety. We got out there and we saw where the defense was lined up. He audibled, I gave my little face mask grab.
And he runs like a 3-yard slant. And I mean, I threw it right to him. I probably didn't throw the ball more than 8 yards. And he went 89 the rest, and it was cool. That was a really cool play.
He was great at basketball. He had some ups. He could get up and dunk it really easy.
I think I went out every year. More times than not, Coach Spielman would always say, come on in. I suppose you want some shoes, don't you?
He would get the free shoes, and then he wasn't around all the time.
I went out, got the shoes. I only lasted about a week, and then I had like a knee scope. The second year, I played the bulk of the season, but I really wanted to be there because I wanted to hang out with Jim, Brad Rohr, and the Gunnarsons, and all those guys that were playing.
But he had a lot of injuries he had to tend to.
I was with the team the whole time, but then I had 2 years off, mostly because of injuries and weird things. That 5th year, 91-92 season, I think I scored 31 points at Upper Iowa. That was kind of my basketball highlight, mic drop. The track career was actually kind of an interesting deal. In the spring, in Division III, you couldn't have organized practices for football. You couldn't have any of that stuff. So a lot of times we would get together on our own. We would go out there and we would have like, you know, passing drills.
I knew that he had a good arm. Approached him about trying to throw the javelin.
We were out there on the football field and he comes over and he says, you know, you ought to try this javelin. He says, it's just like throwing a football.
Mike had no idea what track was. To this day, you'd have to give him directions. If you put him on the track, he wouldn't know what direction to turn.
In between one of my classes, I went in and saw Coach Smith, and he gave me a javelin, and he said, you're just gonna walk around, and you're gonna learn how to just throw this thing and stick it in the ground.
He caught on to that. Sophomore year, he just kind of played around with it.
It just clicked for me. I really liked it. I became hooked.
He's able to throw a football a mile. It was perfect. It was great thinking on Coach Smith's part, make him into an All-American.
Continued to throw in his football cleats throughout his collegiate career.
When I set the conference record, it was at Central College, which made it even sweeter.
And the second he released that, I remember calling and said, that's a big throw. That throw still is his conference record to this day.
That throw got me provisionally into the national championships.
And I remember him warming up, and I was sitting there with a few of the coaches, and he let go one of his throws, and one of the coaches who I didn't know at all says, wow, that kid's got a rocket for an arm.
I'm so appreciative of it. It means a lot. I don't know how these things get decided, but I am truly honored.
Mike, congratulations on your induction into the BVU Hall of Fame. Your career here at BV is impeccable. The success that you had in football, your contribution in basketball, and certainly the success that you had in track, or should I say in field, was very impressive. You've gone on to do some amazing things in your professional career as a teacher, as a coach, now as an administrator. congratulations, and again, honor well deserved.
Well, congratulations, Wills, for making it into the Hall of Fame this year. I know you were very excited when you received that call, and as Brad Rohr, myself, and Scott Bailey that all played with you, it's a great honor to welcome you to the Buena Vista Hall of Fame.